Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to an episode of Bulldrek. This is going to be my Gen Con 2016 wrap-up video. This will be the last in my Gen Con series. Hopefully you've enjoyed the previous videos and stuff that I've done. As you might be able to tell, I'm looking a little rough. I'm sounding really rough. My voice is still messed up. This was a rough convention for me. I had a lot of fun. It was probably one of the better conventions that I've had in the last few years. That said, it was also crazy busy. Really tight schedule. I didn't get there till late on Wednesday. And I like to, last couple of years I've been able to go down on Tuesday, but didn't get there till late on Wednesday, left really early on Sunday, and I usually stay over till Monday. So that kind of compressed everything down. Worked all day, had meetings and stuff in the evenings, so everything was really rushed and it was really crazy, but I had a lot of fun and it was good times. Unfortunately, I came home, died for a day and a half because I was exhausted. Having everything stacked on top of each other like it was at Gen Con, it meant that I was getting about 4 hours of sleep a night. And I don't sleep particularly good in hotels, so I think I might have mentioned this in one of my other videos. But I don't sleep particularly good in hotels, so I toss and turn and tend to wake up a lot during the night. So it's not good, solid sleep even. And like I said, I know I was only getting 4 to 5 hours at best before I had to be up and running again the next day. So I came home and I slept the sleep of the dead, and kind of just took Tuesday to chill out. Got caught up and got some of my videos processed. I know I still have one more to try to do. The video for that one's a little screwy though, so I don't entirely know what's going to happen with it. I still haven't finished it. My day 4/5 video. But then, unfortunately, I thought I was doing good. Wednesday, I thought I was doing pretty decent. I took a taxi run, and my voice was a little screwy, and I had kind of a little bit of a sore throat, but it wasn't too bad. And then on Thursday, that's when the con crud hit me. I had a delayed blast con crud, as I like to call it. Because usually the con crud, if it's going to hit me, it hits me earlier. But this one took a few days, and it laid me out. I think I got like a throat and sinus infection or something. And I was in really bad shape for a couple days there. I was really sick. And I was feeling better last night, and then I took a taxi run that kept me out till like 3:30 in the morning. And I'm feeling rough again today. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But, so yes, the convention was fantastic. Once again, I need to send a huge thanks out to everybody who helped make it happen. Because like I said, it was very last minute for me, and if it wasn't for the help of some of my friends, I wouldn't have been able to pull it off. So I need to send a thanks out to Ray Regal, Bob Bulldrek, and Mary Campion over at Catalyst Game Labs. They were the organizers that put everything together, and they were able to fit me into the schedule at the last second, which was fantastic, and I know helped them out because I know they had open slots that they needed to fill anyways, but still, they were able to work out a schedule that worked for me, and that was fantastic, and I appreciate it a lot. I need to send a big thanks out to Ron Rummel and his buddy Rich, who Ron drove us up there and drove us home, and it was, again, that helped out tremendously because I don't think my van would have made the trip. So thank you. And then finally, I need to send out a big thanks out to, once again, to Opti, to Jules, and to Joel DePippa. The three of them managed to secure me a scooter for the convention, which made getting around the convention possible. Unfortunately, with my knees and my legs, if I don't have some sort of means of mobility, I would not be able to do the convention because it would not be any fun. I would pretty much sit in one spot for the entire weekend and not move, and it would suck. So thank you, all of you, for your big help. So yeah, the convention was a good time. Go back and look at some of the video. Unfortunately, I didn't get nearly as much video as I wanted to. largely in part because I was so busy. Doing the demos meant basically I got in there and I was 10 o'clock or earlier, usually setting up by 9:30, and running demos until 6, running out for dinner, and then almost every single night I had a meeting of some sort or something I needed to be at. So unfortunately, I didn't get to do any of the Q&A interviews I wanted to do with some of the folks. I didn't get a whole ton of video, and one of the things I found out this year is that shooting video from from a scooter is a pain in the ass. I'm at a lower vantage point than most people, so that's a problem in and of itself. 2, much as I hate to say this, people are kind of assholes. I don't have a lot of, I can't move around a whole lot on the scooter. I mean, it's a mobility scooter, but it's big and it's got a turning radius and all that, and so I can't just sidestep people and stuff really easily, and I can't get up into position easily. And unfortunately, one of the things I found out really quickly this weekend was that people don't give a shit. So I'm sitting there, and I've obviously got my phone up, and I'm trying to take pictures or take my video or whatever. There's me doing this, da 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 da, and everybody's just walking by and around me and in front of me or whatever. Nobody, no concern. And I understand. I'm kind of blocking the aisle, and it kind of sucks. I always tried to make sure I was not, blocking the entire path or something, because I try to be considerate of other people. But unfortunately, nobody else wanted to be considerate. So there was a lot of times where I would be in the middle of trying to get a little bit of footage of a cool minis terrain or a diorama or posters or just a book setup, and people are just right in front of me nonstop. Nobody wants to slow down and stop and wait for the GIMP to get some video footage. So, what can you do, though? I did my best. And another thing I found was that I don't have the steadiest hand. The scooter's not particularly steady when I'm trying to drive it. I've got to sit there and steer, so I'm shaking around, jerking all over the place. So my video footage was really terrible. So I apologize for that. I did my best to take only the cleanest video, and then on top of that, I did something last night, Sunday the 14th. So if you watched any of those videos prior to that, you may want to go back and look again. Facebook has YouTube has a function where it can clean up shaky camera. It stabilizes it. So I tried using that, and it's a little wonky. It stabilizes the footage somewhat, but the camera's all over the place. And the other problem I had was that I had shot some of my video like this and some of it like this. I really should have shot all of it like this, because that gives me full screen. Doing it like this just gives you the strip down the middle. So almost all the video I did like this looks really wonky because the way it was stabilizing it, it's shaking that all over the place. The actual film footage is much better like that, but I don't know. I was experimenting. I'm going to have to try to figure out something new for next year. I really want to do more filming and more stuff like that. And next year, I'm hoping not to be working the show. I may do something else. I may try to do a couple of other things and make it. But anyways, that's for next year. I'll worry about that then. So anyways, yeah. So hopefully the video footage came out okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And if you haven't watched it, please go back and check it out, because I think it was kind of interesting. So, like I said, I had a great time. I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't really play a whole lot of games, other than I demoed Shadowrun Encounters. Shadowrun Encounters is a fantastic press your luck dice game. I had so much fun with it. I think it's a really cool little game. It's really quick to play. It's really simple to learn. You can pick up the game in about 5-10 minutes, and an entire game of it will run you 15 to 30 minutes tops. You're basically rolling dice, trying to match numbers on a card, and you basically lock the dice into place, and you keep going, and you're trying to lock all your dice on the cards so that you can what they call escalate it to another level. and then you start another row of cards, and those cards are worth more points, and so on and so forth. It's kind of neat. You can hire Shadowrunners. They manipulate your dice for you, and you're each playing a corporation trying to accumulate the most money. A lot of fun. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to do a little bit more for it, because I really, really enjoyed it, and I think it's one of those games that I think a lot of gaming groups will really like, and it'll be a good add to your collection, because it'll be a neat little thing you can do, just like when you're killing time waiting for gamers to show up or whatever. I think it's a lot of fun and really cool, and I think it captured some good Shadowrun stuff. So there's myself for that. I spent all weekend demoing it, so I can't help myself. But other than that, the only other thing I ended up playing all weekend was Andrew Cohen, Kane Hazen. He met, because Andy's really gotten really good at networking. I'm pretty, good for you, Andy. He met up with a guy named Josh. I can't remember Josh's last name off the top of my head, but he's one of the writers for the Secret World. And me and Andy played Secret World pretty hardcore there for a while. Had a lot of fun with it. So he made friends with Josh, and one night we hung out with Josh and some of his friends playing Batman Flux. And fortunately, Flux is kind of a neat little game of sorts, but I hesitate to call it a game, because games have rules, and games have strategy usually, and Flux sort of doesn't. Because of the nature of Flux, the rules are constantly changing. The guidelines for winning the game, how many cards you draw, how many cards you get to keep, how many cards you get to play. Everything is completely, and as the name of the game is, Flux. Everything's in flux. Constantly. So it's one of those games where there's absolutely no point to paying attention to when it's not your turn. Because by the time it comes around to your turn, God only knows what it's going to be. The winning conditions will have changed several times. Cards will have been swapped back and forth all over the table. You don't know how many cards you're going to be keeping, playing, whatever. So I don't know. Flux is one of those games that you tend to win by accident half the time. You just get lucky, and you're like, look at your hand and go, oh, if I play this card and this card, I win. And there's no strategy, no planning to it ahead of time, because you literally can't. So we played a couple of games for that. That's really all I played all weekend. It was fun hanging out with those guys, though. They were a nice crew. So that was good. I got to do Scotch Squad a couple of nights. I got some footage from one. Unfortunately, I thought I filmed a little bit at the second night in one of the rooms. We actually did a big toast and everything like that, and it was a really good crowd. And I don't know what happened to that. So either my camera didn't record and I thought it did, or I accidentally deleted the footage or something. I'm not entirely sure, because I was transferring footage off of the memory card all weekend onto my computer. It's entirely possible that I didn't transfer something and then just deleted it. I don't know. Speaking of, and I'm really rambling on this, and I apologize, but it was a good con, and I want to talk about it. So the other thing I want to do is I forgot a thanks at the beginning of the film, beginning of the video. I need to send a thanks out to Jeff Ray. My phone had a 32 gigabyte SD card in it. But about a week before the convention, it stopped registering the SD card. I don't know why. The SD card still works. I can plug it into my computer and use it. But for some reason, the phone isn't reading it anymore. And this was a problem because I only had a 2 gigabyte as a backup. And video footage fills that up really fast. So Jeff Ray had an extra SD card kicking around, and he offered to give me one. So he hooked me up at the convention, and that helped out a lot, because it meant that I didn't have to stress cleaning the card off a couple of times a day if I was taking video. So Jeff, thank you very much. That saved me a little bit, and I very much appreciate it. So hopefully you had fun playing True Dungeon, because I know you had a group going for that. I would have loved to jump into that, but unfortunately, I don't think True Dungeon is scooter accessible. So, sadly, my disabilities kind of hurt. So, all right. Beyond that, like I said, I didn't play a whole lot. Did some Scotch Squad. Hung out with folks a lot. I went to an author seminar with Robin King, Rusty Zimmerman, and Kevin Zernacki, who have all written Shadowrun novels. And that was a lot of fun and fairly informative. I also got to go to a panel for the Shadowrun Podcasters group, which was Tim Patrick of Critical Glitch, Lee Stone of Dice Crimes, Cliff, blinking in your last name, dude, sorry. Cliff from the Arcology podcast, and Opti from the Neo Anarchist podcast, and Rusty Zimmerman was moderating. I kind of feel like I'm forgetting somebody, and I apologize if I am. But anyways, that was a 2-hour seminar. That was a lot of fun. I got a little bit of footage of that on the day 3, I think it is, video. But I also got a full thing. Cliff from the Arcology podcast had done a song as a tribute to the late Stephen Tinner for his character Johnny Banger called I Do What I Want. And he did a fantastic live version of it there, and I have a full recording of that I've uploaded. So check that out as well. And then finally, what did I get? Well, first off, another person I need to thank hugely is Paul Butler. Paul hooked me up. A while back, I had been talking about pops. And a friend of mine had mentioned that a couple of friends of mine are big pop collectors. Sorry, I gotta wet the throat. A couple of friends of mine are big collectors of the Funko Pops. And I had gotten sent a while back the Sharknado Pop, which was really cool, and I really like it. And you can kind of see it over my shoulder right here. I'd gotten a little Sharknado Pop. But other than that, I kind of thought, you know, they're basically just dust collectors. They're going to sit on a shelf, they're going to collect dust, and it's no big deal. Like I said, I've got some Mighty Mugs over here that I picked up years ago. My buddy Kurt gave me the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, and buddy Carl got me the Indiana Jones one for Christmas one year. But I kind of like, it was like, I don't really get them, but whatever. But then I saw somebody pointed out that they did a series of G.I. Joe ones. I go, well, I would get those. And so Paul sends me a message and says, dude, we've got a bunch of them at our game store that he's manager of. He's like, I got a bunch of them at the game store. I'll bring you a set. I'm like, dude, seriously? Awesome. So he brought a set to Gen Con for me. So I've got a Snake Eyes. I don't know how well it's going to show up. Got me Storm Shadow. These things are adorable, I got to admit. Cobra Commander. And Roadblock. So I got a couple of Joes and a couple of Cobras, and those will be going on my shelf. He also threw in a it's called the Loyal Subjects. They're these little G.I. Joe blind box figures. And there's a bunch of different figures. I don't know how well these will show up. Whole bunch of different figures, plus a couple of mystery figures. And it's kind of funny because they come not only blind boxed, but they're in an opaque bag when you get them too, so you can't actually see the figure when you first take them out of the box. Except that I know my G.I. Joe well enough. And the figure came with this little backpack. And I instantly recognized the backpack because it is a distinctive color of this aqua green. and I kind of recognize both it and the style as the backpack of Gung Ho. So I have this little Gung Ho figure, and he kind of looks like he's got jaundice. I'm not entirely sure about his skin tone's a little funky. But still kind of cool. It's a neat little figure. It's a little bit along the lines of the Pops and the Mighty Mugs, except a little bit smaller. But that was really cool. He threw that into the box as a bonus, and so I got some neat little toys out of it. I very much appreciate them. So Paul, thank you very much. You rock. Paul is the manager of Games Plus, I believe it is, in Glen Burnie, Maryland. So if you're ever out that way, check out his store. Beyond that, I didn't get a whole lot else. I did pick up a copy of Shadowrun Anarchy, the prototype, which is kind of a little preview edition they did. It's really nice. It looks, full color, laid out like the traditional Shadowrun books are. Even got some nifty art and stuff in them. Let me see if I can find a good page with some artwork in it. And of course, I'm just not. There we go. It even got art and everything in it. And it's like a little 48-page book, and they were selling it for $5. So it was a pretty good deal. Anarchy is the new rules light system that they're using, and it's based on the Q system, which was used for Cosmic Patrol and the Valiant RPG that Catalyst put out. But it's heavily modified, so it looks interesting, and I'm actually going to be, for my next actual play for my Patreon, I'm going to actually be trying out the Anarchy rules using that, I think. Because it's a lot more story-focused and plot-focused as opposed to mechanics and stuff. And for the purposes of our Patreon game, our guys are really hardcore role players, so I think that that'll actually work out better for them, I think, in the long run. I got that. I picked up, my big splurge for the convention, if you can call it that, was a new pair of, these are technically space elf ears from the company I bought them from, but they were going to work for orc ears. They had a bunch of different, the whole big line of elf ears, all kinds of different styles, but those were kind of those shorter, blunter ones. And those will work for orc ears, because my old orc ears that I had for years, I wore them to probably almost a dozen conventions or more, and they stretched out to the point where they're not really holding up anymore. The latex really only holds up for so long, and after that long and that many years and that many uses, they're starting to fall apart. So I really needed a new set. So I got some new ears for next year, so I'll be able to do the costuming thing a little bit better. Now, like I said, that was my big splurge. They weren't that expensive. I think I ended up being like $15, so not too bad. But that was the one thing I really bought for myself at the convention. And then other than that, just some of the basic GM swag that we get from Catalyst every year. I got another glass. It's a glass etched with the Catalyst Demo Team logo in it. I got a couple more Catalyst dice. Catalyst Demo Team dice. If I can find them here. Here's those. There we go. I'm just rooting around. Yeah, we got these dice that are in the kind of the Catalyst Green Labs, and then for the 6, they've got the little Catalyst beaker. So those are nice. I've actually got a set of 12 of them, so this actually gives me a few more to play with. I actually have enough. I could probably actually GM a game using just those now. I did actually get a couple of other dice though. Tim Patrick for the Critical Glitch. I know he took some time off from Critical Glitch to kind of refocus and stuff because he kind of burnt out a little bit. But I think he's getting ready to start doing some new and shiny, so I'm looking forward to that. But he had these dice, they're kind of this blue and silver. And for the one side, for the ones, they actually say, I don't know if you can read that because my camera won't focus that close. Says Critical Glitch. So, which of course is for Shadowrun, the ones are your critical glitches. And actually, this will actually even be cooler because in Shadowrun Anarchy, instead of ones, if you half ones or whatever it is being a glitch like they are in Shadowrun 5th edition, in Anarchy, you don't have the glitches normally. But you can spend a plot point. I think it's called a plot point. Anyways, you can spend a point to add a glitch dice to your dice roll or to another player's dice roll. And now there's actually a reason for it, because if you get a 1, something bad happens, and it's all narrative based. So something funky happens. You can still succeed or you can still fail, but then a glitch happens and that's something extra bad. But the reason why you might want to do that is because if you get a 5 or a 6, something exceptionally good happens. So it's kind of interesting. You're basically taking a chance of a 1 in 6 chance of something really bad going on to get a 1 in 3 chance of something really good happening. So it's kind of neat. You can gamble to try to mess up the GM's rolls or another player's rolls, or you can gamble to give it to yourself in hopes that you'll get something good. And then finally, the last thing was we got a new GM screen. This was for all the demo team agents, and it's kind of neat. It's got one of the cityscape covers, cityscapes on it. I'm not sure which cityscape this is. This might be just Seattle. I don't think it is, though. No, I don't think that's Seattle. I'm not sure which cityscape this is. But the really neat thing about it is that if you open up to the middle panels, because it's a 4-panel screen, you open up to the middle panels, it says Demo Agent down at the bottom. And that is really sweet. So only the demo agents got this. So this is a unique screen for us, and then it's just a normal GM screen on the inside. But that's cool because I did not have a GM screen. So that'll actually come in handy. So yeah, that was my convention in a nutshell. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I wiped myself out, and then of course got deathly ill over the week following. But it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to next year. I'm hoping to do some more stuff for my Patreon and for my YouTube channel for next year. More video. I really want to get some more interviews and stuff. And hopefully, I'm going to do some stuff so that I don't have to work the con. I'm going to be saving up some more money, but I may do a fundraiser or something if I can to try to. Because like I said, I really want to do dedicated to doing the filming and stuff. And it'd be nice to actually get a real camera rather than just relying on my phone and stuff like that. So we'll see. I don't know what I'll do. That's for down the line though. But yeah, so that was my Gen Con. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I'm really glad I got to see everybody I got to see. Unfortunately, I know there's some folks I completely missed that were there. And then, of course, there was folks that were not able to make it this year that I missed as well. Next year is the 50th anniversary for Gen Con. Big year, big doings going on, I'm sure. So I'm really looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm really hoping I don't have to work the show, that I can go and just relax and have fun and actually, go out and do stuff and participate in stuff a little bit more. I'd really like to actually participate in some of the panels that were going on. I'd like to, like I said, I really want to do more video and stuff. I really had a lot of fun, and I really think that could be a lot, because that's what I'll be honest, I love watching video and stuff from conventions because I like to imagine what it's like to actually be there. A lot of times you just get these quick little interviews or just little pictures and stuff. And it's one of the reasons I tried to actually get some video of me walking up and down the halls and stuff a bit. I sped it up a bit for the videos I did because, well, make it a little quicker to go through. But, kind of give you a better idea of the size and the scope, because Gen Con is so massive. And they even upped it again this year. Long aisles. There was 30 aisles in the vendor hall, and just everything was all spread out. And it was amazing and awesome, and it's just an experience. So, anyways, hope everybody will be there for next year. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for watching. Check out my Patreon if you're interested in supporting my endeavors doing this sort of stuff. I also do creative writing and stuff there, so that my Patreon backers get exclusive access to. So if you're interested in any of that, check that out, please. I've got a new t-shirt shop. There'll be a link down in the below. I've got several new shirts, and I'll be putting up new shirts every few weeks as I come up with interesting ideas or can think of something that'll be kind of cool and people might be interested in. check out all that stuff. Click like if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos along these lines. But anyways, that's it for me. Thanks. Sorry this was as long as it was. I want it to be a little shorter, but you know, I like to talk. That's what I do, even with my voice kind of wrecked. I kind of sound a little like Rusty Zimmerman, which is kind of cool. If you've never heard Rusty, he's got this raspy voice, and he sounds like he smoked 10 packs of cigarettes a day for the last 10 years, and it's really cool. I don't sound nearly as cool as Russ, but that's all right. So anyways, have a good one, folks, and we will catch you next time.